Greetings, my beautiful lovelies. It's Emmy. How are you? It's great to see you and welcome back. Today, I'm going to be cooking a recipe that has over 1 billion views across platforms, and it's for Turkish pasta. Have you heard of this? This is new to me. This was brought to my attention by my lovely friend Heather. If you don't know Heather, I will point you down below to her blog post. She's incredible, a gifted writer, and always has a great pulse on what's going on in the food world. So this recipe for Turkish pasta comes from Anna Paul and her mother over on TikTok. Her mother prepares it while Anna kind of narrates the recipe, and it looks pretty simple. What I think is very interesting about it is that there are kind of three components to the pasta. We have a seasoned meat, and then we've got a seasoned yogurt sauce, and then a beautiful paprika infused butter sauce on top. It sounds kind of finicky and fussy, but Anna claims that we can make all those components while our pasta is boiling. I think that's what I'm also most intrigued about, besides the taste. Always taste first, but besides that, I really want to know, can we make this in the time that is required to boil our pasta? So that's what we're going to be testing today. And look at this timing. My pasta water has just come up to the boil. So let's go ahead and get started. We are making farfalle or bow tie or butterfly pasta. And according to the box, it takes 11 to 12 minutes. Season with a couple generous pinches of salt. There are no amounts given in this recipe. Anna says that her mother cooks by eye, like many great cooks, most good cooks, I would say. So I'm gonna go ahead and boil the entire box of pasta. So 1 pound. And I'm gonna set my timer, 12 minutes. All the ingredients for our meat sauce. It's not really a sauce, it's more like a cooked meat crumble. And we're going to add a pound of ground meat to my skillet. This is actually 1.33 pounds, so I'm gonna use a little less than the entire package. Anna's mother is adamant that you do not add any oil to the pan, that you just let the meat render out its own fat. Now, no specific meat is named in the recipe, but it looks like beef. I'm using ground turkey. You could also use ground lamb, I imagine. Crumble it up while we're cooking it, because we want it to be nice and loose and crumbly and a bit crispy. A pinch of curry powder, just a pinch. This is supposed to eliminate any kind of stinky meat smells. Isn't that interesting? And then we're gonna add some onion powder. I'm gonna add a 1/2 teaspoon black pepper, 1/2 teaspoon of salt. This is regular paprika or sweet paprika, not smoked paprika. 1 teaspoon of that. So the meat is seasoned. To that, we're gonna add 1/2 an onion. I'm cooking this on medium high. Now, depending on how lean your meat is, you will have more or less kind of grease collecting in your skillet. I don't have much. I'm using 85% lean ground turkey. I don't like my turkey extra lean. I don't like any of my ground meats extra lean, actually. I find there's a lot of flavor in the fat. Cooking up. Next, we're going to make the seasoned yogurt. It is Greek style yogurt, 5% or full fat yogurt. Love Faye, this is my favorite Greek yogurt brand. Greek style yogurt has been strained, so a lot of the whey has been removed, so it's really luscious and rich and creamy. It's so delicious. My son loves having this with a little maple syrup or honey, about a cup. I'm going to crush a clove of garlic, add that to the yogurt, healthy pinch of salt. We also need some parsley. This is flat leaf parsley. Oh, there's our pasta. Some people like their pasta a little firmer, some will like it a little softer. That's still a little firm for me. Relative to how much water I had in there, there's a lot of pasta, so a little bit longer than what's on the box. And I've got some cherry tomatoes that I'm gonna have. A little bit of color and extra flavor. So Heather also tested this recipe on today.com, and she melted her butter in the microwave with a bowl, which is what I'm gonna do. Probably about a half a stick of butter. I'm gonna microwave this at 50% power, because the last time I did this 100% powder, the butter exploded and it was an absolute disaster. It was dripping from the ceiling. Incredible. So 50% power for a minute. 1 teaspoon of paprika. Now we're going to drain our pasta. Wow, this really is coming together in the amount of time. As Anna said, we're going to taste the meat for seasoning. Add some more salt to that. This is kosher salt, so 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt to 1 pound of meat. I'd say go the full 1 teaspoon of onion powder. I love how crusty it gets. All right. I think in this case, it's a little better to err on the side of making it a little more over-seasoned and salty, because this is going to season all of that starch, right? Okay, my sweet paprika butter. Very intrigued by this. All right, let's build our plate. First, bow tie pasta, hot and steamy, goes onto the plate. Next, our garlic yogurt. Next, the seasoned meat, sprinkled over top. Parsley. Ooh, tomatoes. Oh, so colorful. Paprika butter. Ooh. Finishing with butter. Yeah. I think that's the secret right there. Probably about a tablespoon or so. Boom. Alrighty, my lovelies, here it is, the beautiful Turkish pasta. Look at that, it's gorgeous. And although I was skeptical, this cooked up in the time it took to cook the pasta. Totally true, totally legit. I mean, we did have to wait for the water to come up to a boil first, but while it was cooking, was able to make the meat, totally, the butter, the yogurt sauce. If you have the yogurt sauce pre-made, cut yourself a few minutes, but totally reasonable to have an entire meal put together in less than 30 minutes. Ooh. Underneath all of that, we have that garlic yogurt. I've never had yogurt and pasta together. Yogurt, pasta. I'm gonna bite with tomato too. Juicy tomato and our seasoned turkey. Alrighty, here we go. Itadakimasu. Mama Paul. I really like the simultaneous creaminess of the yogurt, and there's that tangy acidity from it. It's kind of a surprising twist on a cream sauce, because you've got that little injection of acid, and then you've got this ground seasoned meat on top. That's salty and flavorful. And then you've got parsley on top, which I think is a pretty key ingredient. It adds that really lovely green herbal flavor along with this punch of color. Makes it so utterly gorgeous. So I think the tomato and the parsley are pretty critical to this recipe, because they complement the dairy and the protein so well. I don't think I would like it nearly as much without those two ingredients. And the garlic in there is really lovely too. Fresh garlic, raw garlic, really has a nice big sulfurous punch, super flavorful. It reminds me a little bit in terms of the combination of tomato and dairy to the feta tomato bake that went crazy a couple years back, but with a little bit of a tangy twist. This is much brighter. I feel like this would be great to have in the summer because the yogurt is cool while the pasta is hot. I also recommend cooking the meat for the full amount of time while the pasta boils, because there's something that happens when the flavor of the fond develops, that kind of crispy, meaty stuff that sticks to the pan. It makes it taste more intensely meaty and kind of grilled. I think that really adds another layer of flavor to this. Oh, and the paprika butter. I think that on the pasta alone would be delicious. It's like a toddler's dream. The butter, pasta, makes it rich, but you still taste the pasta. I love all the little layers and the kind of complexity of both flavors, textures, and temperatures in this dish. Alrighty, my lovelies, the Turkish pasta is totally up to the hype. It's pretty incredible, the complexity of flavor that you can get in such a short amount of time. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that one. I hope you learned something. Please share this video with your friends. Follow me on social media, like this video, subscribe, and I shall see you in the next one. Toodaloo, take care, bye! Mm-hmm.